look at what the response is. Philip says to Nathanael, the skeptic, the unconvinced guy, the guy who has all kinds of questions and all kinds of concerns about being the Messiah and Nazareth. He says, you know what? He says, Nathanael, come and see. Well, what about let's talk about Nazareth. No. I can't answer your objections to Nazareth. I can't persuade you. I can't convince you. I can't tell you all the reasons why. Just come on. Well, I've got questions. I've got objections. I've got concerns. Well, just bring them on with you. Come on. Come and see. I want you to come meet him. You can come meet him, and then you can ask him about being the Messiah. You can ask him about how he fulfills all of the Scripture. You can ask him about Nazareth. You can ask him about all your questions. Just come and meet him. Because if Philip had gone into this big, long argumentation and apologetics and categories and lists, it would have never gotten Nathanael any closer to meeting Jesus. And so look at what happens. He comes and he's coming, and look at the way Jesus responds to him. This is amazing. If you have objections, if you have obstacles, if you know of someone who has great questions about the faith, this verse 47 right here, absolutely affirms that you're somebody who says, I don't believe until I see, or I have a lot of questions that need to get answered, or I have great concerns. You know what? That's okay. God says that's fine. Look at what happens. He's coming toward Jesus, and Jesus, seeing Nathanael approaching, says about him, look at that. Here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no, and your translation may say guile or deceit or falsehood, but let me tell you what Jesus was saying about this guy. He was saying, here comes a guy who is not going to play games. Here's a guy who's honest with himself and with everybody else. Here's somebody who's not about faking it, and you're not going to be able to fake him out, and he's not faking it. If he has questions, he's going to ask them. If he has concerns, he's going to make them known. And he's not just going to blindly follow somebody. He wants to get the facts. He's a skeptic. He's an unconvinced person, and you got to convince him and help him understand. He's the real deal. He wants truth. And Jesus says, that's awesome. That's awesome. So the guy's coming closer and closer. There is no guile in him. And look at the way the next verse reads. This is amazing. He comes up, and obviously Jesus said something like, hi, Nathanael. And he goes, how do you know me? Nathanael asked. And Jesus, this is pretty awesome. Because in this moment, it moved from the list, it moved from the category, it moved from the hypothetical. It had been, maybe you're one of those messiahs, one of these 10s of 20s that have come onto the scene. They come onto the scene and they go off. And maybe you're a mental construct of Nazareth, and maybe it was the idea, and maybe it was the question, but maybe it was the category that was a mental something or other. But now it's moved into something that's personal. How do you know me? How do you know that I have no guile? How do you know my name? And then Jesus goes on and he says this is amazing, showing his omniscience, showing that he is God. Look what he says. He says, oh, I saw you. I saw you while you were still under the fig tree before Philip called you. And when he says, I saw you, he's not saying, I physically with my eyes. Did you physically with your eyes see me? Did you, you were pretty close to me? How did you know I saw you? What do you mean? I saw you into your soul. I saw you into your heart. I saw you into everything that you really, really are. And Nathanael, I want you to follow me. And it moved from a construct and an idea to something that was personal.